Don't be discouraged. It's often the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. John Wooden. 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. That is all we ask. Patreon supporters, thank you so much for all of your support. We just sent out to you the 20 weekly vertical crossovers that we have located on the S&P 500, 7 down, 13 up. One of them, just for everyone, is Altria MO. And again, that is a magical chart that we talk about. We've talked about it many times on our monthly question and answer session. You look at this chart, it is unbelievable. Plus, it pays a nice healthy dividend. So something you might want to look at mastering as far as your practice trading goes. Kind of thing you could sell covered calls on. You could practice this and get it down. Interesting. Now, the only problem is Altria kills people. They make cigarettes. I don't invest in them and will not be investing in them. And I'm sorry for my alarm going off there. But that is something for you to look at. Make up your own mind with your own conscience as to what you want to do with your own money when you eventually get there. But you can sure use it to practice trade at this time. It's a beautiful chart. That is one of the 20 weekly vertical crossovers. Just sharing that with everybody. I opened up 20 new slots for Patreon support at the lowest level, $30 a month. And those are filling up fast. But that's just one of the benefits you get. Patreon members, we did send out yesterday the video to this month's live question and answer call-in session. Lots of good information there too, particularly about how to utilize these 20 weekly vertical crossovers every week to really supercharge your training. Okay, let's jump into these charts. Stocks are mixed for the day. S&P up, Q's down. Bonds up, gold down, Bitcoin a booming. Let's start with Bitcoin just because it's fun. What do we see happening? Well, we've got a week where we've got a weaker green candle, but it is heading up 4.80%. Price percent oscillator heading up, derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Check out what happened on the 2-day. A similar pattern to, of course, what we have seen in the past where things go up, digest, go up, digest, go up. Now, it's nice to see that the price percent oscillator is slowly pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillator, however, still losing momentum. Pay attention to that. And of course, what are we seeing? Perhaps we're going to end up with a crossover on Friday. You just never know with Bitcoin, but you can see how Bitcoin will go up and then it'll slide sideways and down, sort of digest these gains and then pop up again. Don't know how long this pop-up's going to go. With Bitcoin, it could rotate over 20% tomorrow down, but we do have that weekly vertical crossover working with us. And again, if you're interested in learning how to chart Bitcoin, there is a great training that we have for our Patreon supporters. So I encourage you, again, follow the charts each and every day, practice trade what it is you're interested in, and enjoy. Let's look at the S&P 500 up 0.32%. How close are we to a weekly vertical crossover? Not happening yet. It's awfully close. I'm not excited about it. Derivative oscillator's been green for a while, but that price percent oscillator just is not strong. And like we said, this is an object lesson in a chart that's not working right now that you don't have to bother with. You don't have to get stuck on 1 or 2 or 5 different stocks or ETFs. There are hundreds out there. When the charts work on them, use them. When the charts don't work, don't use them. Not working on the S&P on that weekly right now, super strong. Big day tomorrow, it could cross over going up. Oops. Let's go from the weekly to the 2-day. You can see it moving right up that 2-day trend line. That is nice. See first day of the latest 2-day candle reaching a higher high. Half-day chart, price percent oscillator flat, maybe heading down a little bit. And of course, you can see these stutter steps. This is what's keeping the weekly from not working. Going up, rolling over, going down, going up, rolling over, going down, going up, and then sort of ticking along. For the price percent oscillator work, remember, it is a percentage version of the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence indicator. What does that mean, converging, diverging? We want to see charts moving, oscillating. When they're oscillating in small areas back and forth in shorter charts, you're just not going to get accurate price percent oscillators. So what do? We don't deal with those charts until they start working again. What's up with the Qs? Well, the Qs has been on a weekly vertical crossover since the 2nd of July. And we have recently had a 2-day recross. We'll look at that in just a minute. But we see the derivative oscillator gaining a little bit of momentum, price percent oscillator pulling away from the red signal line. Now we'll look at the 2-day. We had that 2-day recross back on Monday, the 30th of August. And of course, we had a nice bump up following that. This latest candle, again, down for the day a little bit. I'm going to have to switch charts here to see that. 0.05%. So again, not reaching a higher high yet. A little green candle there, though. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Price percent oscillator flattening a little bit. And you check out the intraday, and that's where you can see where things peaked and then just sort of rolled over. So we'll continue to watch, see how this continues to develop. Again, the best things we look for always are the weekly vertical crossovers. We talked about the issues with the 2-day recross. And again, so far, not so bad. We'll continue to watch, see how it moves along. Let's move on to bonds. Bonds up 0.44% on that weekly chart. What do we see? Still positive. Price percent oscillator still above the red signal line. Derivative oscillator still positive. Losing momentum has been for many weeks now. Price is just pushing, just trying to edge below that weekly trend line. We have a spinning top, almost a doji for the week, so lots of weakness there, even though this, of course, was an up day on Thursday. 2-day chart, first day of the latest 2-day candle, you can see it also pushing through that 2-day trend line. It's in a confirmed, weekly trend line. It's in a confirmed down move at this time. So we see the derivative oscillator still staying negative, price percent oscillator heading down. We look at the half day. We saw some up movement in the morning, carried through in the afternoon, touching that weekly trend line on the half-day chart, trying to, I guess that's barely going green at the end of the day. It's our smallest chart, means the least to us, but shows us the intraday action, which makes it important. So you got a feel for sort of what's going on. So we'll continue to wait, watch, and see what's going to happen. What could happen with 20-year bonds? You could have a 2-day recross that starts everything off growing again since the weekly's already heading up. Or you could have the weekly just finally peter out and roll over and head down. Something will happen eventually, and we'll be ready when it does. What about gold? Our last chart for the day, down 0.27%. Friends, we keep waiting, watching, seeing. Check it out. Price percent on the left side of the screen, below that first horizontal line, PPO and exponential moving average 8, they are laminated. In other words, there is not a crossover. It is just stalled right there. What's going to happen tomorrow? Is there going to be a weekly vertical crossover going up? I don't know. Would I trust it if it rotated over going up? Well, that's what you use your backtracking practice for, to see how well has it worked in the past. Then, of course, you go back, you check out your 2-day. How strong is that? What's that looking like? Well, it's slowing down right now. It was down for the day. It could be really nice and green and strong tomorrow. Might give you some more confidence. Price percent oscillator still gaining momentum, heading up. Derivative oscillator heading up. And of course, the half day, that's where you see where things bounded up on last Friday afternoon and have not hit that point again. In fact, down in the morning, not quite so far down in the afternoon on Thursday. So there are good reasons to not feel super confident if you do have a crossover at the end of the day. We'll wait, watch, and see. And again, if you're interested in gold, you want to learn how it works, you need to be practice trading it. That's just what you got to do. Fill out your trade worksheet, understand what's going on, track it, trade it, learn it. This is how it works. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.